In our last lecture, we had briefly discussed what Professor S.K. Chakrabarty he had enumerated, lot of positive aspects of Indian values, positive aspects of Indian values that reflect in the behavior of Indian managers. And let me do a quick recap. We had said that respect for individuals is there. Indian managers exhibit a lot of cooperation and trust. Work is worship. Work is equated with worship because when you work in an organization or you're working in your shop or your own enterprise, it's a source of livelihood for you, and on that depends the life and the well-being of your family. So it is equated with worship because there is no other form of earning. The government does not look after you. The state does not look after you, as it can happen in some developed economies where if you're unemployed, for example in Israel, if you're unemployed, you get an unemployment dole which can see you through, but this does not happen. So upon your work, upon what you earn, your livelihood and the life of your family depends upon it. We had also said Indian managers, their values, they are reflected in self-discipline, especially if you are manager. If you are a manager, we are talking about managers, and there is purity of emotion and feelings in your workplace. Indian managers tend to be creative. Why they tend to be creative? We discussed because resources are scarce. Resources are scarce. So you need to be creative to be able to make do with those resources, to be able to manage with those resources. There is a form of cooperation. So generally people are not so jealous in the workplace, the managers, because the resources are scarce and because if you don't cooperate with one another, the organization itself could fail. Okay, and we had discussed Nishkam Karm, where there is detachment of fruit from actions. We leave the final result to the God. And there is generally control over greed. These are the good aspects. So today we will take some of the negative aspects of Indian culture, which are reflected in the behavior of Indian managers. Professor S.K. Chakrabarty said, first thing and foremost, which I have no shame in agreeing, is Indian managers, especially the in big companies and well-established companies, even in those companies, people show less respect for time. If you see, whether it is also reflected in any social function or in an official function, the person, the VIP, would often come late. He would just strutter inside the auditorium as if coming late is his birthright. So we don't show respect for time. And also in India, even though you have contractual obligations, आपने किसी से contract किया कि आपका कोई वेंडर है, आपने अमेजोन के थ्रू कुछ माल खरीदा, आपने कहा कि एसी फिट हो जाएगा 48 आवर्स के अंदर, लेकिन अक्सर नहीं होता, वो टाइम लग जाता, नहीं सर वर्कर चले गए थे, बारिश आ गई थी. So we show scant respect for contractual obligations. So this is something which is a negative quality. So first was we don't show respect for time, and second is we show less respect for contractual obligations. Third is we lack professionalism. Now professionalism is a very widely used word and a very widely abused word, but essentially professionalism means the ability to take a decision or to manage affairs in an unbiased manner, in a transparent manner, in a manner that is most suited for the organization and without any bias towards your personal feelings, without showing any favoritism. So generally, uh, managers have shown this tendency to get swayed by emotions while taking decisions. Another point which Professor Chakraborty said is we don't have adequate respect for work discipline, rules and regulation. So if you have to reach the plant by, say, the morning shift starts at 6 in the morning till 2, we tend to have arrangements wherein a manager or people will leave by before 2. Although the work may not suffer, but the work discipline is there. that every manager will leave the shop floor at 2 p.m. Not before that, but we tend to leave, by 1:30. Or we will have an arrangement with somebody that, okay, today I will leave at 1:30, so my another colleague who's managing the shop floor, the plant, so he will come at 6 in the morning. I'll come at 6:30. Sixth point, which is very disturbing, which I consider very rather unfortunate, is that we don't have high respect for dignity of labor. What is meant by dignity of labor? Suppose I'm a machinist. I work on a machine, and I have a supervisor under whom 10 or 15 such machinists work. And if one machinist has not arrived that day, it is very rare that a supervisor will step in. Okay? It is very rare that a supervisor will stand in for a worker, because we say, okay, this is not my job, and this is a job which is to be done by hand. This is the job of a worker. Of course, see, many of the things which Professor Chakraborty said, they are they may not be 100% true now. Things are changing. Managers are also doing work, especially with the advent of computers, which came around in the late 80s. Managers are also mindful of working on their own. Many small companies or MSMEs don't even have personal secretaries. But generally, what Professor Chakraborty and his team of researchers realized, that the respect for dignity of labor is not there. Another characteristic which was pointed out was that Indian managers, they exhibit high sense of loyalty towards family responsibility. As I explained, they will leave, forego a promotion. They will not go on an important project, a project which is very important. If the children are in class 10th or 12th, if their board examinations are there that year, they will refuse to go. So most of the above, these 7 points of not showing respect for time, showing scant respect for contractual obligations, lacking in professionalism. Another important thing is they lack accountability. What is accountability? Accountability means that the buck stops with you. It is not only your responsibility, but you will be held responsible, and you will have to account for any delay or any failure. Accountability. We tend to pass the buck. So in a college, the professor can say that, I could not finish the course on time because suddenly there were number of holidays, or because of this pandemic I could not hold classes. I mean, but you are supposed to hold classes digitally, or you are supposed to disseminate knowledge through some other medium, right? So most of the above can be ascribed to existing value system of Indian managers. High sense of loyalty towards family responsibility, and less toward another. So these are some of the aspects which Professor Chakraborty said are not so good. Of course, as I said, this may not be true in a particular. For example, you may find that in the city of Bengaluru, some of these values may not be there. Negative values may not be there, and in some of the other industrialized towns, for example, in Gurgaon, you can find that there is a disparity among the behavior of the Indian managers. So local cultural issues also plays a part. But what is important for us at this point in time is that we need to understand, and whatever Professor Chakraborty has, this has wider ramifications. This is generally the impression about Indian managers. I will give you an example of a company which was willing to make, which was a subsidiary of a very huge multinational, which was willing to make COO who was Indian, but who did not want to make CEO who was Indian, because this company had huge contractual obligation in terms of exporting products to African countries from India. So they said, because contractual obligation is something whose importance is not so easily understood by the head of uh, uh, by the Indian head of the organization. For many years, I'm talking of Nestle or any other company. You can say for many years they used to have a CEO who was always an expatriate. But of course, the worldview is changing today. We will look into some other values in the next slide. In this video, we will try to understand what are the difference between cultures which are reflected in our work behavior. So cultural difference between Indians and Western countries. So this video I have prepared again based upon the research done by Professor S.K. Chakrabarty. First thing, he has taken various parameters and then try to analyze how is it different in case of a Western culture and in case of an Indian culture. So first is logic. Logic means logic is a process, thought process, a deductive or an inductive process in which one is able to prove something based upon facts, something which is not flippant, something which is not out of the hat, something which does not have a rational. Because if you say that Ram is taller than Sham, why is Ram taller than Sham? Because Sham is 1.65 meters and Ram is 1.70 meters. So this is called logic. It is logical that somebody who's 1.7 meters is taller than somebody who's 1.6 meters. So just trying to. So in case of Western culture, we talk about logic in a direct manner. The association is direct. So if you are evaluating the performance, if a manager is evaluating the performance of two workers, he will say, a manager who's born and bred and brought up in a Western culture, he will say, in the last month we gave this much target, this worker was able to produce this many units and this worker was able to produce this many units. So this worker has performed in a better manner than this worker. So in performance appraisal, I am putting it like this, that A is better than B. Let's take the case of an Indian manager. See, the example may be slightly exaggerated, but an Indian manager will call both the workers. He will say, both of you have done well, both of you perform well, both of you were able to achieve targets under the circumstances. But Ram was able to do better than Sham. However, this does not mean that Sham will do better than Ram, cannot do better than Ram. So the logic is spiral, it is roundabout. Things are not said in a straightforward manner. This is the cultural difference. Let me give you an example. I was working for a company which is a Swiss company, and I was their consultant for a IT hardware installation in an Indian company in Gurgaon. So there was a contract, because in India what happens is, if you are a supplier, then you are at the mercy of the guy who's procuring your material. So they sent us a draft contract. The draft contract was this: if you are able to deliver by third week, this is okay. If you are not able to deliver by third week, this is the penalty. If you are able to achieve this milestone by fifth week, the payment will be released. If you are not able to achieve this milestone by fifth week, this is the penalty. So as an Indian consultant, and I was number 2 in that team, and I was the only Indian in that team, so I knew this was very common. All contracts are heavily tilted towards the guy who's buying, right? But I also know that there is very little respect for contractual obligation. Suppose the Swiss company is not able to supply by third week, will there be a penalty? No. We will be able to explain. Sometimes, in the last lecture, in the last slide, I had told you that scant respect for contractual obligation. थोड़ा इन contractual obligation पे इतना ज़्यादा उस पे डटे नहीं रहते, उसके लिए उसके प्रति इतनी श्रद्धा नहीं होती, तो कभी कभी अच्छा भी हो जाता है. Sometimes it is good. So I read the contract, and my Swiss employers, I was their consultant, not the regular employee, a senior consultant. They asked me, I said, the contract seems to be okay. So we went for the negotiation. So a very young project manager, I think he was from Denmark, he said, I want to ask some questions. Okay, you ask questions. The Indian buyer, their procurement head, very nice person, my personal friend, he said, ask your question. He says, if I don't supply on time, there is a penalty. Yes, there is a penalty if you don't supply on time. If I don't reach this milestone, there is a penalty. Yes, there is a penalty. What is the penalty? The penalty is that the delay in the project, the number of days of delay in the project, whatever is the entire cost, the cost of that project will be considered as the principal amount, and 8% interest per annum for the time period will be the penalty. I thought it was fair enough, because normally people say, if you delay by 2 days, then the amount of business that I will lose because of the delay in 2 days, that is the principal amount, and on that we have a 8% or a 10% per annum or a 20% per annum penalty. So I thought they were being very reasonable. They were saying cost of the contract is this. So this young project manager, I think Stephen was his name, he asked a question. If I am able to deliver the hardware by third week, and if you don't pay me on time, what is the penalty on you? Everybody was stunned. Cultural difference. He says, if you don't pay me on time, what is the penalty on you? Believe me, there was a moment of, there were several moments of silence. And the Indian buyer, he considered it as his insult, personal insult. Now let us try to break this story. Understand, there have been several instances when a vendor has supplied the material. As per the contract, it should be released immediately. The payment should be released immediately within, let us say, 1 week. But from the procurement, first of all, one who receives the material in the store, he will okay it. Then the papers will go to his boss, it will go to the procurement, it will go to finance, and finance, it will already 10 days would have elapsed, and then finance has a particular day when they will transfer, when they will issue a check, or even if they do electronic transfer, it will take 15, 20, 30 days. 1 month delay in payment is considered normal. It's considered normal, but it's an international contract. You never say, if I delay paying you, this will be the penalty on me. Logic. Another thing which Professor Chakravarti says, communication. In case of Western cultures, communication is direct and it is mostly verbal. So this young guy was direct and verbal. What happens if, as an Indian, I would have been indirect. I would have said, sir, I hope you will pay on time. Because, sir, if you don't pay on time, I also have a cost of borrowing. I also have a capital cost. So please, if you delay your payments, you should also try to adjust. If I make some delays in installation, you're getting my point. Communication is indirect, impaired. As an Indian, I will not have the courage to tell in a very big contract, what is the penalty on you if you delay payment? isn't it? I explained to you in 2 3 lectures in ago 2 3 in one of the lectures, earlier lectures, that about the concept of collectivism and individualism. In case of Western culture, individualism is very high. So every manager is bothered about his key result area. He's also bothered about the team's result area, but his main focus is on individualism. If even if the project is a success, and if he has not performed well, then in the next project he may not find a place. Indian value is collectivism. इंडिया की टीम है, सीरीज जीत गई क्रिकेट की टीम, विनिंग कॉम्बिनेशन को नहीं चेंज करना. So performance may not be evaluated because winning combination has to be kept. Collectivism. That is Indian culture. Individualism is the Western culture. Western managers are argumentative and verbal. Indian managers, it's very hard to say. It's very hard for them to say no, especially if you are not in the position of strength. If you are not in the position of strength. That's why Indian managers are so much loved in African countries. Because a big enterprise, an African enterprise which is owned by an African entrepreneur, he is rich, he has got a lot of resources, so he is not so much in awe of people who are argumentative. He likes Indian managers because it is hard to say no. Even if their deadlines are, for example, you have to roll out a project during the time of festival, during the festival time, and you and your team is committed that most of your teammates and your workers will go on leave during that period. It's a festive period, suppose Diwali period, but your client, your customer is telling no, the project has to be completed during this period. Mostly if it is a big project, you will have very difficult time in telling them, sir, it is Diwali, we will not be able to roll it out. You will say, sir, we will try our best, we will try our best. Eventually you may not be able to achieve that target, but you know that there is no respect for contractual obligation. So this is agreement, disagreement. Whereas Western culture is argumentative and verbal, for us it is hard to say no. Don't worry, I will give you, in fact I have already posted the entire notes, and whatever I am speaking, everything is contained on that notes. So please concentrate on hearing me out. Everything is available in the notes which I have already uploaded on Colpol. So this is, for example, this slide which we are discussing right now is slide number, I think it is slide number 28. The slide number 28, cultural differences, Indian versus Western. So you will have all this. So just concentrate on understanding the concept. That's my endeavor right now. Respect is another parameter. Respect, izzat. Respect. Western culture respects success and achievement. I am the India head of a company and my target was to achieve a turnover of 100 crore in year 1 and I have achieved it. So I am successful. Achievement driven. Indian setup, there is respect for success, there is respect for achievement, but there is more respect for seniority. So Rajesh Pilot, Sachin Pilot, he has got the drive, he has got the verve, he has got youth, he has got restless energy, he's got the charisma. He will not become the head of the government. Ashok Gehlot will become. Right or wrong? I'm not making a political commentary here. I'm just trying to tell you, because whatever you say, Ashok Gehlot ji is very senior. He's a very wise man. He's very mature. He takes the team along, and most people have faith in him. So there is a respect for success and achievement, yes, but there is more respect for seniority and wisdom. Another parameter is business relationship versus personal relationship. Believe me, in a Western culture, two of the best friends, maybe who share an apartment also, for them economics will come first, not personal relationship. So if in a Western culture, if one guy is a marketing manager and one guy is a sales manager, and the sales manager feels that the marketing input to achieve yearly target is not there, he will not hide his disappointment just because the sales manager and the marketing manager are friends. They will fight it out in the boardroom. Both will come up with 50-page or 50-slide PPT. Sales will say marketing effort is lacking. Because for him, he needs to have his input. Economics comes first. In India, personal relationship will come. जय और विजय दोनों दोस्त हैं, एक सेल्स मैनेजर है और एक मार्केटिंग मैनेजर है. मार्केटिंग मैनेजर की एडवर्टाइजिंग बहुत ढीली है, प्रमोशनल कैंपेन बहुत ढीला है, प्रोडक्ट नया है, बेचना जय को है और सपोर्ट विजय का है, और विजय अपना काम कर नहीं पा रहा, लेकिन जय कभी बुराई नहीं करेंगे. जय करेंगे कि जय और विजय की जोड़ी है भाई, इसको हम कैसे कर सकते हैं. सो इकोनॉमिक्स will come first in case of a Western culture, whereas in Indian culture, personal relationship will come first. So tomorrow, one of my student, he becomes head of marketing research, and he is to give accurate finding of marketing research. And because the result of the research will help a marketing manager to design a marketing program. अब आपको ये पता करना है कि एक डिटर्जेंट लॉन्च होना है, कस्टमर को डिटर्जेंट में चाहिए क्या, प्राइस चाहिए कि वैल्यू चाहिए कि डिटर्जेंट का रंग चाहिए, उसकी इमेज कैसी चाहिए, और आपको सारी रिसर्च करनी है कंज्यूमर्स के पास जाके. और आप मेरे स्टूडेंट हैं, आप चले गए. मेरा दूसरा स्टूडेंट मार्केटिंग मैनेजर है. मार्केटिंग मैनेजर जो मेरा दूसरा स्टूडेंट है, उसको लग रहा है कि मेरे रिसर्च मैनेजर ने पूरी रिसर्च नहीं की, इसके रिजल्ट सस्पेक्ट हैं. यार हमें भी पता है कौन कस्टमर है जो कहेगा लाल रंग का डिटर्जेंट चाहिए, ये क्या बात कर रहा है, लेकिन वो दोनों आपस में बात करेंगे, शाम को चाय पे बात करेंगे. दे विल डिस्कस इट इन द होटल और इन देयर रूम्स और व्हाटएवर, बिकॉज पर्सनल रिलेशनशिप. जय और विजय अच्छे दोस्त हैं भाई, लड़ाई ना हो जाए आपस में. क्या पता डॉक्टर बेस्ट को भी फोन करेंगे, सर जय ऐसा कर रहा है, विजय ऐसा कर रहा है. सो देयर इज अ वी प्लेस लॉट ऑफ प्रीमियम ऑन personal relationship. See, mind you, I am describing the cultural differences. I am not saying one is good, one is bad. At all, I am not saying. So whatever I am telling you, you have to analyze. Later on, when you grow up, when you start to work in the corporate world, you have to analyze and think कि सर ने ऐसा बताया था, ठीक बताया था कि नहीं बताया था, है ना, वो आपको देखना. Communication, direct and verbal, as I told you. People are, in a Western culture, people are not conformist. CONFORMIST, conformist. Conformist वो होते हैं जो कि किसी भी चीज में ढल जाते हैं, ये रूल है तो उस रूल को फॉलो करते हैं. दे आर कन्फॉर्मिस्ट. एक होते हैं कन्फ्रंटेशनिस्ट, कन्फ्रंट करते हैं. जैसे आप समझ लो कि एक शेन वॉर्न बॉल कर रहा है और राहुल द्रविड़ बैटिंग कर रहा है, तो राहुल द्रविड़ लास्ट तक उसके स्पिन को देखेगा और फिर उसमें ठुक करेगा और कहीं स्क्वायर कट निकालेगा. ही इज नॉट कन्फ्रंटिंग शेन वॉर्न, बट वीरेंद्र सहवाग आ गया तो वो तो कहेगा कि तू लेग स्पिन कर रहा है या गुगली कर रहा है, आई हैव टू पुट यू अक्रॉस द फेंस. Aggressor. He will confront Shane Warne, and this is what Sidhu also did in that series wherein he was very successful. Sidhu and Sachin, they confronted Shane Warne head on. Shane Warne ने कहा था कि मुझे रात को सपने में भी तेंदुलकर आता है, कितनी मेरी उसने पिटाई की थी. So these are some of the, we will discuss more of this. I'll give you a small break because there are some more qualities we need to discuss in more detail. Don't worry about the notes. The notes are uploaded on the Cold Ball. Understand the lecture and the salient points. चलिए आज के लेक्चर के final 10 minutes and I will discuss two more points with you. The cultural difference between Indians and Westerns. So logic I have discussed. Communication क्या दोनों में फर्क है, that I have discussed. Collectivism versus individualism I have discussed with you. किस चीज की इज्जत होती है? Some people respect, some people have respect for success, some and achievement, and some have respect for seniority कि भाई मेरे से उम्र में बड़े हैं, है ना? Then business relationship versus personal relationship में किसको तवज्जो देते हैं? Let's now discuss the difference in culture, Indian culture and Western culture, which is manifested in decision making. Decentralized, Western culture is largely decentralized and distributed. And Indian culture, manager has the final say. I will give you an example, okay? And I will give you an example of two organizations, both Indian. And I have worked in both of them. So, from 1991 to 1992 to 1993, I was posted in Jammu and Kashmir. I was working for a public sector oil company. And we were supposed to commission a kerosene agency in Poonch. Poonch is a district in Jammu province of Jammu and Kashmir. And in Poonch, which is a full district, there was no kerosene agency. और केरोसिन, आप दिल्ली के और एनसीआर के बच्चे हो, आपको केरोसिन की इम्पोर्टेंस नहीं पता, पर जहाँ पे एलपीजी नहीं होती थी, 90s की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, केरोसिन वाज द लाइफलाइन ऑफ अ किचन, ऑफ अ होम. केरोसिन नहीं है तो खाना नहीं पकेगा, या फिर जंगल से लकड़ियाँ आएंगी. और पुंछ में केरोसिन एजेंसी ही नहीं थी. एंड आई वाज द डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोऑर्डिनेटर ऑफ राजौरी एंड पुंछ डिस्ट्रिक्ट. सो द फर्स्ट थिंग आई सेड, वी मस्ट हैव अ केरोसिन एजेंसी. And I was working for Indian Oil Corporation, but I was the district coordinator for oil industry. That means I was the district coordinator for Indian Oil Corporation, Bharat Petroleum and Hindustan Petroleum and IBP. उस समय IBP भी एक कंपनी होती थी. It had not merged with IOC then. So I spoke to the district magistrate and we all understood the need for a independent kerosene agency. उस समय केरोसिन जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर था, जो राजौरी का था, वही पुंछ को देखता था, वही पुंछ को देखता था. So once we took a decision, then the long process started. We had to put up a case, and then it will go to the state level coordinator, it will go to the country coordinator, it will be sent to the ministry, it will send to oil coordination committee, and finally a decision will be taken. So a decision was taken that we need to have a kerosene agency. Then it will be advertised, and then the decision was taken that oil selection board, OSB, which is comprised of one former judge and two other members, they will come, the position will be advertised, people will apply, application form मिलेगा, उसका selection process होगा. So when I entered Jammu territory, I started this process. When I left after 3 years, then this process was completed. And even then, For every step, one had to seek approval. And once everything was in the hand of the company, once everything was in the hand of the hierarchy of Indian Oil Corporation, then also I, as a field manager, I was an assistant manager sales with around 7 years of experience and an MBA who's qualified in exam and was rated quite well. So I didn't have any say. I had to depend upon my boss, who was very good, and he would always refer my territory's case to New Delhi. Everything depended upon the manager retail who was sitting in New Delhi. He had the final say. What will be the date of the commissioning of the kerosene agency? He will decide. Typical Indian culture. The manager has the final say. The grassroots manager, the grassroots worker has to execute the decision. He can be a part of decision making, never get the credit. Right? Decision making is the manager has the final say. So manager retail who reports to deputy general manager, who reports to general manager, who reports to ED, so it goes to Bombay. Let's take the case of Reliance. I also worked in Reliance Petroleum. I was the territory head of Eastern UP. Everything was decentralized. I was supposed to carry out a study at a team of around 20-25 officers who were retail outlet managers, RO in charges, or who were sales officers or territory manager officers. So we will work based upon, there was a national plan of Reliance that on all the highways at these strategic locations we will have truck stops, large format petrol pumps. And then it's not left to us. These are the National Highway Authority norms. We have to decide with whom to talk to. There is a land team. The land team reports to me. Of course, final commercial negotiations are done by the commercial team, but we decide. I was able to decide as the local manager as to, of course, I had to send the file. The file will go to Mumbai, but it had to be cleared within 7 days. And I stayed in Reliance for 2 years. And we were able to commission 12 large format truck stops, retail outlets, and many dealer-owned, dealer-operated retail outlets. And the throughput, the sales we achieved from one petrol pump was 4 times, 5 times the sale which was being done by the public sector petrol pumps. Decision making completely decentralized, completely distributed. But controls. Financial controls will be there, but controls will never be an impediment. आपको ऐसा लगेगा कि जो फाइनेंस का आदमी है, जो आपका ऑडिट भी कर रहा है, वो आपको मदद कर रहा है डिसीजन मेकिंग में. आई एम नॉट हियर टू सिंग प्रेजेस ऑफ रिलायंस, बट टुडे रिलायंस का शेयर 2000 रुपए पे है, 2200 रुपीज. इंडियन ऑयल का शेयर इस समय 150-160 रुपीज पे है. Reliance is only one refinery. IOC has 8 refineries. But Reliance has, it's an unfair comparison because Reliance is into so many other things. So decision making in Western culture is decentralized and distributed. In Indian culture, the manager has the final say. But once again, as I gave you an example of 2 companies, both Indian companies. So which one is progressive is for you to understand. Of course, everything has a plus side and a minus side. But decision making is any decentralized and distributed decision making. The organizations gather speed when this kind of a decision making is there. The last cultural difference between India and Indian culture and Western culture is capacity to take a risk, ability to take risk. High risk takers in Western culture, they are high risk takers. So, and Indians are risk averse. But that is changing now. That is changing. If you see, typically, new Indian companies, new startups who are getting a lot of foreign fundings, they are not showing any profit in the first 3 years, 4 years. Traditional Indian way of doing business is that all all your investment should come back in 3 years. That is changing now. Investments are coming back in large projects with large gestation periods. But essentially, the Western culture is risk takers. Indian culture is risk averse. That is why when India attained freedom, Indian business did not have capital. Number one. Number two, also they did not. The culture was not risk averse. That's why today people mock at public sector enterprises. But the one reason that the Indian governments had to take decision to go into public sector was because very few Indians were willing to take a risk to, for example, to start a refinery. So Indian Oil Corporation's refinery in Mathura, Koyali, and Assam was an old refinery. But all these and Bombay refineries, HPC and BPC were old refineries. But the new refineries came up because there was no Indian company which was willing to take a risk to set up a refinery. So government had to step in. So Western culture is risk takers. There is a company called Tesla. वो कंपनी कार कब बनाएगी कब नहीं बनाएगी, कभी कहता है आई विल पुट अ गाय ऑन द मून, but he is taking a risk. It is one of the most valuable companies. It has not produced any electric vehicle which is running commercially in any of the roads in the world. So I am telling you, culture. Western culture is risk takers. Indian culture is risk averse. A question is often asked, which is a better culture, Indian culture or Western culture? I will reserve the answer. It is always asked in the examination. So I hope you have enjoyed this video presentation of cultural differences which are reflected in the behavior of Indian managers in Indian culture versus Western culture. Thank you, boys and girls.